Do it.
Gerald, you said yesterday that if you guys scored, you would win. Were you pretty pleased with the offense and McKinley setting the tone there early?
Yeah. I mean, I thought offensively we were probably as good as we've been in quite a while. And, obviously having McKinley start out the way she started out always helps. I think I just heard Tommy say it just lets everybody take a breath and, kind of be relieved that, who's going to score tonight or are we going to score tonight? And I think that kind of sets everyone going. And, I was just pleased with, for the most part, with what we were trying to do, especially early in the first half. We had a specific plan that entailed three things. And, I thought for the most part, especially in the first half, we got that done. And so, yeah, like I said, you can score 77 points. You should win some games. And today we did.
Did you like your patience offensively today? It seemed like you guys were really patient and just finding,
I liked what I really liked. I thought in the first half, I thought we took very good shots. I thought we ran good action. I thought we left, again, I'll go back and say I thought we left some easy shots, on the table. But, what I really liked is I like the discipline that our kids had from about the three. I'd have to look at the thing, about 3 minutes and somewhat seconds. I think we were up 6 or so. And, we were then content just to take our time in the shot clock with the action, make them guard us. They didn't seem like they wanted to foul. They already had 14 fouls, and so what we talked about at one of the timeouts was we're just going to take our time now, run good motion. We'll take it down to 10 seconds. Either we can attack like we talked about attacking, or we can bring it back around and get the ball inside and see if they foul us and see, as long as we were up a couple of possessions, which we were, and we also had some good defensive stops during that same time, which allowed us to do that. So, I thought we did a couple things, really well. I like, as you said, I thought we were patient when we needed to be. I like the pace that we played with, bringing the ball up early, pushing it up early. Now they started scoring after a while and their press kind of slowed us down, but it didn't really hamper us that much. And then I liked again, the patience and the way our kids executed and handled it at the end.
Yeah, you guys came out with the fast pace. Do you think that caught them off guard a little bit?
I think it did. I think it does. I think it does at altitude because, for that team, that UNLV team, this is their first time here. They didn't come up here last year. So it's a new experience, and I imagine last night wasn't a great experience for them here, being in the snowstorm and the blizzard and the cold and running up and down the court for the first time and going, my lungs are a little bit tight. And, that's what we do here. I mean, that's a great advantage that we have. And I'm not going to kid anybody, and everybody knows we try to use that to our advantage. And one of the things that we talked about when you said that, Robert, is we've talked about for 3 days. We got to push the ball up the court, not necessarily for layups, but to make sure they got to keep running. And like you said, as long as we were getting stops and we're able to rebound, we could do that. And then obviously they settled in and scored some, and then that kind of slows you down a little bit. But yeah, I really liked our pace early. Like I said, I liked our pace early and I liked our pace late.
Jackson hit a deep three to tie it at 57 with about 5 minutes and change left. Then you guys had that 11-0 run. Do you think that was just great execution on both ends by you guys, or how do you describe finishing the game off like that?
I'd have to look back and see what exactly happened. First of all, that was a great shot she hit, but we were screwed up in defensive transition. We didn't get rotated the way we needed to get rotated, and once again, learning experience for the future told Allison, you get in that situation, you got to run a kid off the line, and we'll take a tough two, without fouling. But then we came down and. Like I said, we got a couple of good looks and, they went in, and that's when we started getting some back-to-back stops. And, you got to have, as we always say, it's really, really crazy. You break down this whole game, you watch this whole game and you break down this whole game, and you're going to go back. They'll go back and look, and we'll go back and look, and we'll say, this game came down to about 3 possessions. And it's like you said, right? Who makes those 3 possessions? You know, I look back at the CSU game in the third quarter. I think it came down to 4 possessions. They got them. They won that quarter, and the fourth quarter was a push. You know, this one I'm going to go back and say, yep, they chipped away and made plays like a really good team would, and we made some plays when we had to. And you know, so it was a good execution. I'm going to say it was. I'm going to say defensively, we got some stops and we've got some 1 and outs, you know, and that's what we needed to do down that stretch.
Yeah, we've been talking about the offense, but defense, they had 73, but they scored 16 points in the last minute of the game.
Right. Yeah. You
How
know, and
pleased,
that,
how pleased were you with being able that you just made Booker and Young so uncomfortable today?
well, you know, like I said, that was our game plan. You know, the last thing that we said before we came out and played, and the thing, excuse me, thing that we worked on for the last 2 days is, like I said, I think you guys asked the other day, or somebody asked me and said, so what are you going to do? And I said, it's a tough deal, because they got a couple of kids who can score inside. So are you going to take your chance there, or are you going to take your chance giving up threes? And I said, we're going to do a combination of both. And what we wanted to do is, and I know she ended with 13, but I'm not going to say they were, you know, they weren't a drastic 13-4, but we wanted to take Booker and Young out of the game. We had to. That's the 2 kids you had to take out. And I think we did a really, really good job on both of them for the majority of the game. And now, to their credit, they had some other kids step up and make some baskets. But once again, if those kids are working to make those baskets, you know, that's taking the ball out of those guys' hands a little bit more. And so, you know, tonight that plan works. You know, don't know if it'll work again, but tonight that plan worked, and I'm going to go home and be happy with it.